Start again.
Start again. What's that song?
I don't know. Huh?
No, I'm just choking.
Choking.
That could be a thing.
There's a lot of people that's into that kind of stuff. Choking. Yeah, I suppose it's...
Are we going to press the intro button at some point, or are we just ditching that?
Here's my countdown. Normally you get the countdown.
You're a countdown.
Your face is a countdown. Well, normally you get the countdown over there. It didn't come up this time. Watch.
But there it is, and small.
I could have sworn it was bigger the last time.
That's what she said.
What? Yeah. Oh well. Fine. I'm sure I remember it being a bit bigger last time. Anyway. Oh well. Whatever. How are things going? Are you on like holiday break now, or kind of semi?
Yeah, kind of, man. Like, I mean, I think anyone who runs their own business is like, you're always on standby in case of something.
It made like a ting noise. It was quite cool. No.
Can't recreate it. Wait.
There, that was it.
Yeah, man. So I kind of closed on Friday, but I'm probably gonna go in on Monday and like do some backups and some responsible stuff.
Right. Okay.
But yeah,
Business
mostly,
continuity stuff.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you?
I'm on break now until January, early Jan.
Nice.
Yeah. I would have liked to have gone away, but with all the craziness and restrictions and everything, I just thought, next year is probably the year to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I was in Cape Town with Kira, as you know, for our 1 year anniversary. So like, it seemed like very pricey and unreasonable to go away again.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I wanted to see my family. They're going to be in PE, but I'd like to fly one day for like Christmas. Doesn't make sense. So yeah, we're going to be like hang out here and stuff, which I'm stoked about. I'm stoked to be like just chilling, taking it easy. Like we talked about off camera, like just get some stuff done. Like neating shit around the house. And
it's amazing because when you were like in full on lockdown and restricted, you weren't really cleaning, spring cleaning wise. You were just functional, keep the sort of household running cleaning. And like you say, you end up just, let me just pile this over there, let me stuff that in that corner. And before you know it, it's like, wow, I really need to kind of shake things up and bring some sanity back. So I feel you on that. As you know, I started... shelves were moved. I'm packing all the various recent purchases and finds and everything onto the shelves, and I'm trying to get some kind of a system going there. Spent the whole day yesterday going through a whole bunch of trading cards that I got from a person, trying to see if there was any gaps in my sets that I could fill up, any extra sets. And I think I'm sitting on, I dare say, 4 or 5 full sets now that I looking to get rid of and sell because I've already got them. And it was just one of those things. I just took this entire collection from the guy, knowing that I was probably going to be lumped with 1 or 2, didn't think 5, but full sets and everything. And then that's just completed. Then I've got a lot of extra near completed, half full sets and randoms and all that. So I think what we need to do, I'm going to address the communities. We need to try and arrange another one of those cool boot sales where the whole community just gets together. We set up and we just get rid of all of our extras, our unwanteds, whatever the case might be, because I certainly have a lot now.
And it's funny how small the world is, because I could be mistaken with this, but I mean, our awesome friend Gavin, who has arranged quite a few of the previous boot sales, they had a new member come there. And
where?
To one of the boot sales, and he met Gavin, and he kind of got into the industry, as far as I know, like the community, and that ended up being Jeffrey, who won our Minico, our Stanley Minico. As far as I know, that's how he kind of like latched onto us, and everyone around him, and so it's cool how not only are you getting rid of stuff that you have doubles and triples of, but it's a cool place for people to like discover and see what things are about, and
world
and get good deals and all that.
Yeah, man. I'm actually quite impressed by that. That's a cool, wicked story. Hey, Jeffrey, by the way.
Congrats.
Congrats. Give us a shout out. I would love it if Jeffrey put some pictures.
Yeah, send us a photo.
Yeah, man. Put them in our little asylum group or whatever it may be so we can just show off to all of our other fans our lucky winner, Jeffrey, and his Stanley Minico. And if we do another boot sale, I've got a lot of trading cards for you this time, dude. If you if you want to start a whole new thing that's going to ruin your life, trading cards.
Yeah, flip, man.
Yeah, some other stuff that happened in the world. We and I were talking off camera about that new Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Is that what it is? I never remember the damn date. It's the one. I just tell people it's the one that's got the Keanu Reeves character.
Yeah, and man, I got such mixed feelings, dude. So I'm sure a lot of people know. If you don't know, they released the game and it's buggy as hell. It's
is it released or is it beta?
No, it's fully released, dude.
Really?
You can buy it in hard copy out of a shop.
Wow.
And they obviously made a PS4 and a PS5 version, an Xbox version, and PC. And apparently PC is the least of the buggy, but it's clear that they made a PS5 version because it's a new generation game. But they try to make a PS4 version, and apparently it just can't deal, man. And besides that, it's just riddled with bugs and stuff. And Sony have officially taken it off their online store. It and they're offering people refunds, but you can still buy hard copies of it, and that kind of leaves me with mixed feelings because people might be trashing the game now, and I'm gonna try pick it up because, dude, it's one or two bug fixes and it'll probably be sorted.
I don't know. I think it all depends on the extent of the bugs. I mean, I watched this one YouTube clip where someone was going through it wasn't even the top 5 things that were wrong with the game, like the top 10 things wrong with the game, and most of it came down to coding errors, bad scripting, terrible those NPC characters, and they were just showing little things, and some of the little things I was going, okay, yeah, I could get past that, past this. Like the one thing the guy brought up was as soon as you pull out your gun, all the NPC characters instantly duck and hide, and it's like, okay, so in a hypothetical situation, I'm in this bar or a club, I pull out my gun, the people at the bar sitting over there, they have no idea I pulled out a gun, but they all just, and they all go into, and not different positions, they all assume the exact same duck and cover position. So I'm like, yeah, after a while I could just get past that and I could ignore it. But then there was other things like where literally the guy turns a corner in his car, a pedestrian walks across the road, as the guy hits the pedestrian, he fuses with the car, and for no reason, the car just flips in the air and lands and it's destroyed. I was like, that's a serious bug problem. That's
for sure.
Proper coding issue. So it's something that I've noticed that's gotten progressively worse over time. And I think in a couple of our podcasts we've referenced it as you get this game, and before you can even play the game, you have to download the first patch, service pack, whatever it is for the game, before you can even start playing.
Apparently with Cyberpunk 27, the first patch, as you just said, it's 56 gigs. The first patch already, it's what?
So it just seems to me, it reeks to me more and more like just shoddy planning, coding, all of that kind of stuff. And guys are just trying to get stuff out there before it's ready. And I don't think that's the way to go, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. We've talked about this, but I'm going to bring in a bit of reference from movies and stuff. You've seen time and time again, it wasn't, I'm not bringing up the Snyder Cut, but in this example.
Yes, you are. By saying you're not bringing up the Snyder Cut, you're bringing up the Snyder Cut.
But they brought Josh Whedon in to do what you think about and like about him or whatever, but to finish the film, to get it to a release date.
Yeah.
So he only had X time to just get a complete product. And because we live in this age of next year, there's always got to be a new iPhone. Next year, there's always got to be a new game.
Yeah.
They get put on these unrealistic timelines, and even I'm sure, dude, in the programming room, I can tell you now, the Cyberpunk coders were like, dude, we need another year or two. And the game manufacturers were like, we've printed the covers, we've done this, we've done that, we don't care, get the game done. And they're like, and when you get to the thing where you're like, okay, fine, I'll get you a complete thing, it's going to suck, but here you go.
True.
And unfortunately, this is a big explosion of that. But I think it's been, like you said, it's progressively getting worse. And every time they pull off a deadline, then they make the deadline even more unrealistic and more unrealistic. And I've been privy to that, dude, where they'll have a deadline for a TV program and there's been like a million delays and shoot delays and weather and then edit delays, and then they get to me and mix and they're like, no, still same deadline, you have less time, just get it done. And it's like, what? So like I can imagine that things happen like that in bigger corporations. They're just like yeah, and it's sad, man, because it's, you know, essentially you're not serving your customers, which makes no sense.
Agreed. And I think if nothing else, it's bringing so much more reputational damage to what I understand to be a generally good game house.
Yeah.
I mean, weren't they the same guys that did Grand Theft Auto, I think?
It's possible, man. I haven't checked, but I know they call it, it's like CD Projekt. I can't remember their name, their full name. I'm a bit out of touch with that. But yeah, dude, like in the same breath, the one cool thing they did, and apparently they're not doing this with everything, is if you bought the PS4 version, you got the automatic upgrade to PS5.
Okay, clever.
So
smart.
that's why I wanted to get it. I'm like, yeah, you know, if I ever get a PS5, then I can like play it again and stuff. But now just, I don't know.
Bit disheartened.
You can't even get a PS5. Like, it's funny, I spoke to JP all the way in Malta, and apparently they even sold out there. Like,
really?
So yeah, so we're not the only ones. I mean, second wave, and now they're talking about a third wave. I don't know when it'll get you.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a lot of money, dude. But people, apparently there's an article that said scalpers, for those who don't know what scalpers is, people who buy and then resell it because you can't get it.
Often they work in the ticketing realm for concerts and stuff like that.
And apparently they've done a rough estimate. They've made something like $60,000 on PS5s just from scalping them.
I can believe it when you look at the starting price of the thing before anything else, and I go like, wow. The thing that amazes me is some of those guys that have bankroll scalping PS5s.
Yeah.
That is nuts, man.
And just the fact that, I mean, freaking South Africa went through COVID and all that, and people still sell out. They're like, nope, it's a priority.
I need a
TV
PS5.
games, like, even me, man, and I like dig gaming. So, look, I'm not a serious gamer, but like Timmy, Keegan, all of us, we like, no, we're waiting it out, you know, until they fix some of the bugs, and maybe there'll be a special like next year, Easter or something, I don't know, and there'll be more stock of them.
More than likely.
Also, I mean, it's very common for companies to go, you know, there'll be like a small little oopsie in the initial release, and they'll just tweak it in the new manufacturing line. Not tell anyone because they look the same on the outside.
True.
And that's we waiting for all that to, you know, like.
I think you're a little bit too much on the Apple first generation type of like owning Apple products has changed the way you perceive first gen and second gen versions.
Flip, man. But you know what, the first generation Apple stuff used to be amazing, and now they're suffering from the exact same thing all these other companies are, where it's just like you're a glorified beta tester for like their bugs and stuff, and then if you're lucky they'll send out recall stuff, but generally they don't. And
well, unfortunately in the Apple world it's like it's different in the gaming world, because like you have the choice of, I've heard bad things about this, I'm not going to get that game, I'll get other games. In that PS, Apple, whatever world, once you've bought the thing and you've invested 15, 20, 30 grand, whatever the case might be, you're kind of locked in, man. You're kind of like, okay, I like you say, I am now your glorified beta tester, and making it worse, I've paid you to be your glorified beta tester.
Yeah, and then still here in South Africa, we get, you know, we live on the other side of the world, so everything's imported. So you're like almost paying like double the price sometimes, and you're getting half the service.
100%.
Because
is a sad state of affairs.
Yeah, I could rant on about that forever, dude. So it's just freaking, you know, it is what it is.
Rant on about things that are happy. I don't know if you saw I don't know what they called it, but Disney basically did this whole like, this is what we're going to be releasing over the next year or so.
Okay.
And they did the new trailer for WandaVision, whatever they're calling it. There was a new trailer for
the Loki series.
It
looks really cool. They're tying it into the movie, hey?
Yeah, looks amazing. And have you seen like McConaughey's character in that? No, not McConaughey. Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, yeah.
As that like node, I forget his name of his character, but almost like the guy who oversees that whole intermerging dimensional time thing. He looks very, very cool as that character. They also showed you the Winter Soldier and Falcon. Some snippets from that. I don't know how I feel about that movie. I'm not a fan of either character, so...
I do feel personally like it was a bit of a wild card. I hope it does well, man. I hope everything does well, but I just feel like, I don't know, they could have picked other characters and stuff respectfully.
Agreed. Well, look, I want them to soldier on with Doctor Strange because I think they've got a winning thing there with Cumberbatch in that role. More Spidey movies because I'm digging Tom Holland.
Apparently, there was an article released, dude, where Marvel and what's their faces have renewed their. So Spidey's not going anywhere for a long time,
which is awesome.
And I mean, remember, Morbius was also delayed, so that's coming out sometime next year.
That's true. That's something.
So I think they got a long way to go with the Sinister Six, Miles Morales.
I hope so.
Coming in and them doing their own like action thing of Spider-Verse, a live action thing of some sort. Dude, they can go endless. They can go Silk. They can go.
No, they can. It's just for me, the animated was so well done. It's like It's almost like, oh, well, because that did well, I'm sure the live action will do well. I'm like, no, guys, don't think like that. Give us something else. Let that animated be what it was. You know why?
You know what would be cool? Because like now, obviously, Netflix don't own the series that they did the
Daredevils and all of that.
Yeah, and we might have talked about this, but I think it would be epic to play to the movie universe and like literally have Matt Murdock have to bail Tom Holland out now. Well, Peter Parker, because of the way it ended with Mysterio busting him.
Yes.
And him having some clever lawyer tactics, but then entering the universe. And then
that would be
at some point he's got to bail him out because he's hardcore. And then they bring Kingpin into the universe and tie Kingpin and Spider-Man. Nice. That would be mental, dude.
Those would be cool. I agree with you there. They also announced The Mandalorian. They're doing a season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Umbrella Academy season 3, but that's Netflix.
Well, we knew that was going to happen. I mean, there's 3 graphic novels, so we knew there was going to be a third. The Mandalorian, they're splintering off the universe into 2 other things as well. Possibly 3. I don't know how it's going to go. So, shit, I don't know if I should say anything because it might give you spoilers. You haven't seen anything.
No, I haven't watched season 2, man. I've recently managed to get someone to help me download some of the stuff so I can start chipping away.
Because off the back of stuff that happens in season 2, that's where they pretty much spun 3 shows out.
But I have been seeing the articles and stuff of there's even that one action figure that you were after.
There's Ahsoka that I'm after. Ahsoka Tano. So Ahsoka makes an appearance, and Ahsoka was heavily in the actual canon in terms of the Clone Wars animated stuff, and then in Star Wars Rebels, the follow-up animated that came out, she features in those. And for those who don't know, Ahsoka was actually Anakin's Padawan for a while. And then the whole thing, and in that series, there's this whole thing of her coming to terms with him turning to the dark side. Stuff happens to her, so she leaves the Jedi Order, becomes a bit of a loner. Then in the later series, she actually has to face off against Vader, which was actually quite an epic thing in and of itself. And so now it looks like they're going to do an Ahsoka splinter off show, which is going to be sick.
Nice.
It looks like a Rangers one. And I think that's got to do potentially with that Gina Carano character.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think she's going to have her own little thing where, not bounty hunting, but almost like... like the sort of sheriff ranger or whatever of that planet, and she was probably have to do stuff there. And then I don't know what season 3 is going to hold for Mando himself, for Din Djarin. We'll have to see, because there's a definitive closing of a cycle in the end of season 2. So we'll have to see what comes of season 3, and there's a lot of things that I would hope would happen based on how season 2 ended, which I think would be just on another level. But we'll talk a bit more about that, because we're going to discuss a bit more series and things that we watched, and I binge watched all of The Mandalorian, so there's a lot that I could say on that.
Nice.
So if you liked what Mark and I were talking about here, or just like our content in general,
please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification for more videos.
And do us a favor and find us on the social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram.
See you in the next video.